Dude, you literally hit the nail on the head. The fact that this team, okay, well, let's think about this. The fact that this team is getting the yardage that they're getting. Did you listen to Skip there on some of the stuff? I know it's hard to listen to Skip. You know, it's hard to believe that he's actually. No, I don't trust the process, Jason Garrett. No, I don't trust it because we've been trusting it for all these years. We've seen Tony Romo's career go down the toilet and see him beat up, kicked to the curb, and left in the damn gutter under you, okay? So don't give me trust the process. What, I'm going to watch the same thing? Dak Prescott go down the toilet for more years? We've already had 4 seasons now of Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott, and the best offensive line in football, and you haven't busted a grape. So I ain't trusting shit, okay? Nothing. Excuse my language, Joseph. It's just, I know it's not the real Jason Garrett, but I wish it was so I could at least put out there how I really feel. Because I look and see some great players. I've seen so many Pro Bowlers on this team. I've seen guys that you're just saying, wow. And yet I see teams that have less talent, less Pro Bowl players, that do less on the field number-wise, that are winning Super Bowls. And I say to myself, when, Lord? When? Oh, when, Lord, is it going to be our time? When? You know how pathetic it is. Because you know what? You're going to set me off. You know, since the last freaking time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, you know what we've seen in that time? We've seen teams that were the dreads of the NFL go to the Super Bowl and win them. I'm talking about teams like the Rams, you know, the greatest show on turf. I'm talking about the creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to the Super Bowl win. We're talking about the ringless wonder, the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I've seen them personally twice in the Super Bowl. Twice. Do you know how much that hurts as a Dallas Cowboy fan? I have seen the New York stinking Giants, at least they beat the New England Patriots, twice in the Super Bowl. Twice. Live and in person. The original Bad Gang, the New Orleans Saints, win Super Bowls. I have seen the Colts, who hadn't won a Super Bowl since they beat us in Super Bowl V when I was a little kid this tall. I have seen Tom freaking Brady win, what, 6? So hell no, I ain't trusting the process. You know, they always talk about, you know, Dak Prescott needs those guys to see. No, it's not Dak Prescott. It's not Dak freaking Prescott. It's Jason Garrett who needs to have everything perfect, okay, and going according to plan in order to win. Because once something gets thrown in there, once you lose a player, Jason Garrett, you don't win, okay? We show up and everyone play their part. No, they're not playing their part because you're not getting the victories. When you have the best, somebody stop me. Somebody hold me back. Please hold me back, because I'm about to get medieval up in here. Because you know what? North Carolina's biggest fan. Thank you very much for the super chat. You know what really, the kind of things that really and truly just piss me the hell off, just piss me the hell. And this is where it should have been, you're gone right here, right now. It's 2015. 2015 is the year that really, 8-8 was bad. I know 8-8 because you had like basically 2 weeks in a row that if you just win one game in 2 weeks, you're in the playoffs. Those hurt. But it was really 2015 that really is the kicker here. The fact that you lost Tony Romo and you won one stinking MFing game. Just one freaking game. Because you couldn't take another quarterback, a guy like Brandon Wheaton, who's been in your system for over a year, and win one freaking game? Not one freaking game? Get the hell out of here. I see Brandon Wheaton then all of a sudden go to the Texans, and a week's practice wins 2 games, and you had him for a year and you couldn't do jack with him? Come on, man. And don't play, or is that Dak's fault? That's Dak Prescott's fault. It was because Dak was going to be coming the next year that's it's not your fault. And that's the other thing that drives. Because you know what? Because see, this is where your little weasel up in there too. Because every time there was problems in that locker room or problems on the field, I remember when Greg Hardy goes off. He goes after another coach. You know where you went the other direction. The other direction. When you had Dez Bryant in the locker room going after reporters and stuff, you walked in and then you walked right back out. Do you think a Bill Parcells would do that? Because Bill Parcells would go up to you, get in your face, and tell you to sit your ass down. He'd pull a Charles Haley on him. Sit your ass down and do what the F I say, because I am the one in charge. And this weasel stuff that we do, about, oh, it wasn't me, I didn't do the play calling. No. Your job is to protect the players. You're supposed to be the lightning rod that is supposed to be running the team and says, you know what, I'm going to keep these guys protected. I'm going to be the head MFer in charge. I'm going to take the heat. And you know what happens when you do stuff like that? That's when your team rallies behind it and says, hey, man, this guy's got my back. But when you're a little weasel out there and you go ahead and say, well, Austin had the option, and Dak had, had two calls, because you did that to Tony Romo even. It's not just Dak. Because during the catch, no catch, when it started blowing back on you, like, well, it was only 4th and 1. Why didn't you go for the whole thing? Well, he had the option to do it. No. Be a man and own up to that crap. I don't do the play calling. I'm not on the field. I allow everyone. Then you're not a coach then. If you just allow everybody to play their position, then you are the one that's supposed to be guiding it. Then if that's the case, then you know what? We don't need you. We don't need you then. Ryan Kirk, thank you very much for the super chat. If that's all you do, because then tell me, Jason Garrett. Okay, we're going to pretend that you're the real Jason Garrett. Okay, Jason, if it's Kellen Moore calling the plays, okay, if it's Rod Marnelli taking care of the defense, okay, if it's the special team coach over there screwing up, and our special teams, by the way, our special teams suck. Our special teams suck. We are basically 27 and back on everything special teams. See, special teams are supposed to be where you can get a little, jump ahead, get some good field position. But if you look at our starting field position, we have some of the worst starting field position in the NFL. Other teams, not so much. You look at the first play that the Vikings had. They got the ball on the 47-yard line because we missed the freaking field goal. So if they all do that, then what the hell do I need you for? What do I need you for? Let's just let the inmates run the asylum. Because if you don't call the plays, if you're not overseeing to make sure that everything goes right on the field and just kind of checking up behind them and letting them make the plays, then what do you do? We need to execute better. You know how you execute better? By teaching the guys what they need to do. By putting them in positions to win. Because if you're saying that these guys are making the calls that are having a direct, Universal King, you got a question? What's your question? If you're the guy that's making the call or letting these guys make the call that is directly whether or not you're the process now. You're an idiot. That's what this guy, whoever you are behind the Jason Garrett name, you're an idiot. Because before you're saying it's everybody else, now you're saying you are the process. Okay, well, I don't trust the process, okay? Screw the process. How about that? Ravens are the best team, though, Mark. Garrett is Marvin Lewis of the... You know what? Marvin Lewis at least had a defensive mind. I motivate men. Yeah, okay. Garrett knows he's just a cheerleader. You know what? Here's what Jason Garrett. There is no coach that has been given the leeway that he has, other than Marvin Lewis. But they finally got rid of him. They finally realized, well, it just isn't. No coach gets 10 years in the same place. Every single coach that has been there since 2010 in the same location has won at least one Super Bowl. And that is a fact. Jason Garrett is the only one that hasn't even been to a championship game, much less a Super Bowl. I wish that was different. Believe me, I wish that were different. I wish that I could be here praising Jason Garrett and the coaching job that he's doing. But unfortunately, I see us wasting players like we've been doing. You had Des Bryant at his peak. You had Tony Romo, incredible season. You had the NFL leading rusher. You had the best offensive line in football. Not Travis Frederick coming back from the Guinea and Bars syndrome. Not Zach Martin, who was on a bad knee. Not Tyron Smith, who was, a shell of himself that gets injured. You had all of those guys healthy, ready to go. Best offensive line of football. Best running back in football. Tony Romo, lights out. And a defense that was second in the NFL taking the ball away. And yet, nothing. So, why should we continue to trust? You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, it's shame on me. And I'm just not, I got no choice. I got no choice but to live with him being my coach, because until he's fired, he is my coach. I could hope and pray that he finally gets it, that something happens. Maybe a UFO comes out the sky, abducts him, and all of a sudden puts in, a Bill Parcells brain or something into him and sends us back to the Dallas Cowboys, and he gets it together. Yeah, top 10. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pull a Shannon Sharp on you. Okay, skip. Yep, top 10 offense and defense and a 5-4 record. Yep. You just wasting all that talent. You just made my point.